What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And in tonight's video, I want to give you guys a quick market update. Obviously, I am on my phone right now as we are in Miami. We just got to our hotel rooms, but we are here for the Bitcoin conference, which is going to be super cool. We're going to be shooting a lot of really cool content. Tons of influencers are here. I think Jason Casper is going to be here. We'll be chilling with him. Tom Crown, everybody you guys see is going to be here. Super excited to meet all of them and hang out. But we couldn't go live today as I was on a plane, so I just want to give you guys a quick market update here on the phone. So just bear with me as, I'll be doing the TA on a phone. So guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Now, I do have two key levels that I want to show you guys that I'm looking at for a potential bigger bounce to the upside, bringing us up to that 29.3 level or even 30K and beyond. So I just want to kind of go over the bullish case here for Bitcoin, kind of the good things that have happened in the past couple of days, and the kind of where that could bring us. And then I want to show you guys the two key levels that I am watching to the downside to get a little bit of a bounce and then continue up to the highs of our range. So first off, guys, I do want to bring you over to the weekly chart. Now, obviously, this is one of the more bullish things that has happened, and that is the fact that we did come down and test the 200-week moving average, as you can see right here. We did wind up testing that, and we got a decent bounce, as you guys saw in my morning market update. Again, I actually, I would actually push you guys to go re-watch that, or if you haven't seen it, go watch that. It's a much more well-done video as I'm not on my phone, and not too much has changed, so I kind of go over more of this stuff in that update, so definitely go check that out. But the fact that we have held this 200-week moving average as support is definitely a very, very good sign, and this could just wind up being a lower high, right? We obviously came up here, got a little bit of a cool-off, made a higher low, and then it came up again, and now this could be the higher low or our next higher low that we're making here before continuing up to higher prices. I think I said lower high before, excuse the little fumble of the tongue there. But yeah, this could just be our second higher low as we came up, higher low, up, higher low, and what better place to put a higher low in than the 200-week moving average? In my opinion, this is the best thing we have going for us right now for continued upside for Bitcoin. Now, as we move down to some of the lower time frames, we'll take a look at the weekly here as we are starting to get a bounce at the bottom of the range, right? This is why I tell everybody not to get bearish at support, right? We were looking for a move down to the bottom of this range, and we were not getting overly bearish. As we know, everyone and their grandma is getting bearish at these levels. And, obviously, when you come down to support, it is more likely to get a bounce, even if you are going to break down further. We knew that it was likely to get this bounce here, which is why we were looking for scalp longs in the premium Discord. And obviously, we did wind up getting those bounces, right? So let me go ahead and turn the actual TA on here, turn on all our drawings, and let's go ahead and take a look at those key levels that I'm keeping an eye on. So as you guys can see, obviously we did get a little bit of a cool off here as we got that bounce, and now we're coming down just a little bit more. Let me come down to a lower time frame like the 1 hour here. And as you guys can see, right, we came up just a little bit, and now we are getting a correction to the downside. And in my morning market update, we drew this blue box. This one right about here. And this was kind of the first place that I was looking for a bounce. So we are approaching kind of the first level that I am expecting some form of support on. Now, the next key level I'm looking at to the downside is obviously looking to hold this blue box. However, this local golden pocket down here is another key level I'm keeping an eye on. This would be a decent place to come retest before getting a bounce higher, potentially actually, getting that move all the way up into this local golden pocket. And then, over here, you're getting a little bit closer to about 27.8, and then creeping up towards $28,000. Now, this level does remain the next major level to the upside that I am looking at for a big rejection down, right? So if we do get a continued move to the upside, this would be the next major level of resistance that I'm looking at to kind of just come up and then potentially just reject a little bit harder and then come down a little bit deeper. Now, with that being said, guys, then the second key level to the downside I am looking at is going to be basically the bottom of our white box down here, which is coming in at about $26,421. And then the top of that golden pocket is coming in at $26,477, right? So, basically, if we see price continue down here, as we do have a red dot on the 4 hour confirmed, 5 hour red dot looking to print. The 8 hour is starting to cool off a little bit. I would like like to try to pull these time frames up for you guys, but it is a little bit hard on the phone. You can see your there you go. 8-hour red dot is currently printing. You can see it in all of its glory right here. So, this could likely give us a little bit of a bigger move to the downside. And if this does lead to a bigger move down, again, I am looking for a bounce off of this local golden pocket. If we continue down further, the big place I'm looking for a bounce is going to be this local golden pocket at $26,421. If we are unable to hold this level, it may be likely that we are going to break down a bit more and potentially wind up seeing the breakdown of this range, right? So again, we did wind up holding our key level, right here, as you can, you could barely see it, I know, but that level right there at about $26,500, it's basically where we had this wick. Right where we had this wick down here, that is kind of our key level that we were looking at as we were approaching the bottom of the range, saying if we lose that level, that is where things are going to flip a little bit more bearish, and we could expect a visit of the $25,000 level. Now, again, we got accepted. The big news on top of holding support on the 200-week moving average is the fact that, guys, we got a bounce and we are currently getting accepted back into our range, right? It's all about getting accepted back into this range. And as you guys know, if you watch the channel, we've been talking about, when we get down to this actual range low, whoops, I thought I had my brush tool on there. But we were talking about when we get to these range lows, again, we aren't getting bearish, but we are going to be looking for longs, because if we do get a bounce, we will be looking for price to come down, get a bounce, and then flip that value area low to support. And if we are able to do that, it could potentially open the door to that $29,300 level, which is the value area high of the range. And you guys know, once you flip that value area low to support, that is where it is likely that you are going to get that continued move to the upside. Now, excuse my sloppy drawings, but as of right now, guys, that is looking like what we are trying to do. We're trying to hold this level as support, which is bullish in my opinion. But as we have these red dots printing on the medium time frames, I do think there is a potential possibility that we could break down a little bit lower. And as long as we start getting a strong bounce down here on this local golden pocket, I think the uptrend could continue, even if we temporarily lose the range again and then get a bounce off this local golden pocket and then get reaccepted into the range. That is something that I am looking at as a possibility for price. But obviously, we'll have to watch this value area low and see if we're going to lose it. But if we do, I will still remain with a little bit of a bullish leaning bias as long as we can come down and get a bounce off that local golden pocket. Once we start decisively losing that golden pocket, it is going to look a little bit more likely that this move to the upside was just to put in a higher low before continuing the macro downtrend, right? And we also do have some things that are still a little bit alarming here, guys, as we come up to some of these higher time frames. Looking at some of the higher time frames, our daily money flow still does not look very bullish as it is continuing to the downside there. We really want to see this money flow come up very, much more heavily than it is right now, because it is still essentially just trending to the downside, which is definitely more of a bearish look in the medium term, which is why I'm being very cautious on these bounces, because if we do see these bounces continue, again, we are being very, very careful that we are not coming up to make that higher low, lower high. I'm sorry if I keep messing this up, guys, but that lower high to continue the downtrend, obviously to lower prices. And then again, that key level to the downside is going to be about $26,500 right here from this little wick right there. That will remain our key level. Again, if you're watching that local golden pocket, you could watch this level as well. Once we start losing that 26.5 / golden pocket, again, that is where we have to be careful of a little bit bigger of a move to the downside. So, guys, I know this is a little bit of a, abnormal Frankie Candles market update. I know it's a little hard to see the prices on the screen on the phone, but I didn't want to leave you guys with absolutely no content tonight, as I did not go live. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit of an update, as price didn't really move that much since my morning market update. So definitely go check that out if you have not seen it. And then hopefully tomorrow we can get the internet figured out and I can actually just go live and give the market updates from my laptop, which is obviously a much better way to do this. But guys, with all that being said, it's getting kind of late here, so I'm going to try to get to bed early, as we probably have a pretty long day ahead of us tomorrow. But guys, We are not on a boat. I will be doing market updates. I will be going live. The schedule might be slightly off, as obviously we will be hanging out with everybody from the Bit Squad and the Candle Mafia. So things might be a little bit off schedule, but I'm going to try to keep it as normal as possible. I will be active. I will be uploading because we're not on a cruise in the middle of the ocean. So with all that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you found any value in this urgent market update. And with all that being said, Candle Mafia, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully next time on the actual computer. But I'll see you guys next time. That's all the time I got for today's video. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out.